So I just got back from Burning Man 2018, which was awesome, and I thought I would give you a quick rundown of how my stuff survived on the Playa and what I do to, keep it running. And it went pretty well. So my main power is, I have a Honda generator over there, but I actually didn't use it this year. So main power is two of these lithium-ion bricks, which is basically Harbor Freight ammo case, 64 amp hour 4S, 2 stacks of batteries in there, BMS. OLED display so you can see what's going on. Charging port, really good connectors those, they worked out very well. Dust cover's pretty handy. XT90 for the main power, which I have dust covers for, but I didn't bother with. Circuit breaker on the end. Basically it. Super handy, worked really well. And as you see, I just leave them out in the dust. They just sit on the ground. Don't care. They don't have any ventilation, so that works out fine. Here's the amp. Well, I have several amps, but this is the main one. So this is like a 4 times 160 watts. It's got, obviously it's an airflow, so it's got a fan port here and another one here. And XT90 and USB power, so you can charge your phone or whatever. You usually have that. The XT90 is on an extension lead to over to here, and then the phone is usually in a separate box. You just have another ammo case with your phone or whatever. It's a bit raggedy at the moment, but it still works just fine. I just have some other stuff in here that spaced it out better, padded it, but it works great. It's just a car EQ, which is pretty much essential, plus two channel amps. This will run off up to 36 volts, I think, which really gives it some oomph. So yeah, that was the camp sound with a variety of speakers that you can't see right now. For portable sound on our Snow Karaoke thing, this is a little mini sound system. This is like completely self-contained, so it's got a battery built in, 3-channel amp, a little Bluetooth audio thing, whatever, kind of handy, you can just plug in there. And this again has its own fan. Again, with this HEPA air filter, which is like essential. I use it on everything, as you'll see. Speakers, basic controls. And again, the nice thing is this has rooms you can put your phone on the top and just close it like that, and it's entirely self-contained. And again, you can leave it on the Playa and it's fine. So that worked out well. That's been coming for several years. Charger for the big batteries. Okay, so this is my custom charger, which does 2 kilowatts. I'm not messing about. So it's got 2,000 watt PC power supplies in series, so that's 24 volts going into an iCharger 406, which is a fantastic charger. I got fancy here, so this is extra control stuff here. This is an STM8. There's also a Linux board in here, so it actually has Wi-Fi, so you can. It's a Wi-Fi access point, so you can leave it charging and then just look at it from your phone, which is handy. There's various things I'm going to do here. Actually, there's some temperature sensors here and here. Temperature controlled fan. Power comes in. It's kind of in hot and cold aisles, so the air is blown out here. All the fans on on the 2 power supplies and the thing all go that way. You see there's not much clearance, so when the lid's closed, basically this is the cold aisle and this is the hot aisle, and then it gets sucked out. Works pretty well, and we have sensors on the input and output. I thought about various sorts of connectors here to come to the outside world, and I just ended up with a temporary solution, which actually was fine, which is just using grommets. And then I just had the leads dangling. The idea was to have a little bag on the side that you tuck the leads into. And really I was trying to avoid having extra connectors here, because then you have to have more leads and you lose them and so on and so on. So I thought having the leads with it was probably a good idea. Worked out fine. These are like super robust. These are the balanced connector ports, which I just left them lying in the dust. They were fine. And XT90s. So this can charge 2 packs at the same time. It can do 40 amps per pack simultaneously, which is pretty awesome. So you can charge both batteries in a couple of hours. This worked out pretty well. It's not already finished. It's kind of yeah. I'm going to put some really bright LEDs on the outside so that you can just see from a distance what's going on, status kind of thing. Anyway, that's been good. If I want 110, I did most of the power in camp was 110 because of the difficulty of running, low voltage over any distance. So another one of these packs was plugged into this inverter, which was just on all the time. I modified these for lipos, so for a 4S lipo. So these have modified overvoltage and undervoltage cutoff, which makes them fine to work with lipos. It's pretty easy to do. This is a Harbor Freight one. This is just one I had kicking around. So this is a kilowatt. This is 500 watts. This was for the portable thing. Again, the HEPA air filter, like absolutely essential. I find like any time air goes in or out, you just cover it in that stuff. This has survived many Burning Mans. This one was actually inside a crate on the ground with a battery box, so it wasn't directly on the plier all the time. There was no need. That worked great. So we had 24-hour Camp 110 off this, plugged into one of those. We had sound, had a few fun projects. This was a drum log, which is I can't really show you right now. So this is what I use for things that I carry around. It's just what I had. But you can see it's pretty convenient. I put the, obviously the key thing is to make it portable, keep it out of the dust, so you can carry it around like this. Some stuff in here, power, and the battery goes in here as well. And then there's a hole cut through onto the inside. This worked out pretty well. Normally you just keep it closed, so when you're out and about with a shoulder strap, for example. And then this has got a drum machine plus a bunch of other stuff. It worked out really well, this. So basically, you'd fire it up, put the battery in here, zip it all closed, and then the speaker port. Did I cut this? Whatever. There's a port for a speaker anyway. You can basically. Oh, here we go. I didn't end up cutting a hole for it, but you need to cut a hole through the side, just poke it out. That was one or two projects. Another one's over here. Hey, kitty. Okay, this is a Korg voice encoder thing, like a robot voice thing. Basically the same thing, slightly more elaborate. Again, battery goes in there, a light controller as well. This has a radio mic here, power amp here. The other one has a power amp built inside the drum machine. So basically you can walk around with this, again, on the shoulder strap. And it worked pretty well. I didn't use it much, unfortunately. I was too busy with other stuff, but it worked as a, that's a good example of how to supply-proof something reasonably well. There's the other battery pack. You can see it's been sitting on the plier, but it doesn't care. Good job. Yeah, I mean, that's what I recommend. Here's a quickie solution. This was like I needed a 24-volt power supply, so I literally just stuck it in a box. I made little holes for the cable to come out. But so this was okay. If you can, as long as this doesn't really need airflow, so I just had it sitting on the table and it was fine. So that's my recommendations for Benjamin, really. A lot of these Harbour Freight boxes, they're really easy to work with. You can cut holes in them. They have a little gasket in here. All sorts of things fit. I just have a bunch of them. And you can paint them different colours if you want to. Oh, this is one thing. Okay, so I needed a 12-volt up a big sign pole. So I ran 110 up the side and just got this ATX power supply. Again, the all-important HEPA air filter. And this was running just out on the plier for the whole week. Still works fine as far as I know. I should have covered that bit, but I had a backup for this anyway, so, but yeah, worked good. It's really all about the air filter. Enjoy.